All right, so we're gonna jump back into Sunday games a little bit to talk about our teams. So I already said this one, but we got an early morning game: Steelers at the Browns, and Browns are favored -4.
Yeah, Browns are favored, should be favored because we're gonna fucking beat them.
Keenum still starting?
No, Baker is starting. It has been announced. He is in a sling. He has been cleared by doctors. He has been in practice. He has been cleared by coaches to play. Is it going to affect his throwing? Yeah, he's got a fucking fractured shoulder and a completely torn labrum. It's going to affect his throwing. We don't need the throw. Because you know who else we're getting back this fucking week? This fucking guy. Best running back in the NFL. Okay? So I've seen a lot of things come up on Twitter. Mark Ingram just gets traded to the Saints. Oh my God, does this make the Saints the best backfield in the NFL? Fuck no. Fuck no. We saw A.J. Dillon get a ton of carries. Do the Packers have the best backfield with A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones? No, they fucking don't. The best backfield in the NFL has resided and will continue to reside in fucking Berea. It's in Cleveland. The Browns have the best backfield. They get the best runner in the NFL back. They have a backup in the Ernest Johnson who just showed he can fucking ball this last week. We are going to be able to run the ball. We have Jarvis back. We have Odell back. We are going to be able to score on this defense, who has traditionally been very good. They still have a good defense. What they don't have is a good offense, and they have a quarterback that's a fucking tree. If we have Tack McKinley, Jadeveon Clowney, and Myles Garrett all being able to pass rush, if they're all healthy, because Tack and Jadeveon are questionable, we are going to get after Ben. He is not going to be able to shake shit. He can't move. We are going to absolutely put a hurt on their offense. Najee Harris, I don't expect him to have his breakout game where he runs for a bunch of yards. The Browns have been very good in the run game. Where we have struggled is in the pass game. If we keep everything in front of us and fly to the ball, they're not going to fucking be able to put up hardly any points. Browns, big W. We need it against our fucking rival. I cannot wait to dance on the grave of Big Ben Roethlisberger after this weekend.
Yeah, line is Cleveland -4 right now. And look, the Browns, to me, are still one of the better teams in the AFC. Their record doesn't show that right now. I still see them as a playoff team, albeit probably a wild card team at this point. If they were to somehow lose this game, then that changes it for me. Like, I think that is the kind of knife in the season at that point.
I agree.
It's a scary thing to think about if that were to happen. But I've got the Browns winning and covering in this one.
Yeah, me too.
They absolutely should. That people being Vegas, I think, is still riding on this team is injured. Your team is injured. An injured Browns team is still head and shoulders above the Pittsburgh Steelers right now.
I agree.
So
we have depth. So one of the most toxic places on the entire internet is Browns Twitter. People burying Baker. People saying that we need to trade these guys because they're hurt. Or we got to do so many things where this team's not good. We should bring in another guy. It's asinine, the things that you see on Browns Twitter. I love Browns Twitter because I'm kind of a part of Browns Twitter, but it is toxic as fuck. I don't know why people are acting the way they are. We played an ugly fucking game last week, and we won. We are getting healthy. We absolutely should beat and cover the Steelers without question.
I completely agree.
All right. So I got nothing else there, man. I'm excited to see Nick back out on the field. Still one of the leading rushers after missing a week.
Absolutely.
Or maybe 2 weeks. So
all right. So sorry, I was just looking at my phone because I actually just did get an update about the game that we're about to talk about here.
All right.
All right. So Sunday Night Football, my Vikings versus the Dallas Cowboys. All right.
Oh, please don't tell me that Dak is out.
It is a game time decision just announced by Ed Werder.
God.
All right. And I expected this. Now, this sucks for me because, and it's just a tough thing in general for me because I have Dak Prescott as my quarterback in fantasy with Derek Carr as my backup, but he's on bye this week, so I can't even hedge my bets there.
Right.
And because it's a Sunday night game, if Dak doesn't play, I'm probably not going to have a quarterback. Good thing is I'm playing Kyler Murray this week as far as just player to player, quarterback to quarterback.
Okay.
Kyler only got like 6 points, so it's not.
So it's dropping a bucket.
Yeah. Look, the line right now has flipped.
Really?
It was Dallas -2.5. It is currently Minnesota -3. And
Okay.
that it switched yesterday, I believe, to like Minnesota -2.5. And now it's up to -3 with this news coming out.
So Dallas is getting some feeder information from people inside these organizations about injuries. They have to know to flip that line if Dak's going to be a game time decision.
Look, Vegas knows they are on the pulse of these games.
Absolutely.
Which is scary a little bit. But look, I think that it's tough. All right. So gamesmanship, of course you're going to say, well, we don't know if we're going to play them.
Yeah.
That way the other team has to prepare for two separate quarterbacks.
100%.
All right. It makes sense. But then you have different reports coming out of Dallas all week. You have other players saying that when Dak is practicing, he looks normal. He doesn't look hurt at all. He looks like it's going to be no problem. And then him coming out and say, yeah, I'm fine. And then Friday, yeah, my leg is a little sore and stuff like that. There could be some gamesmanship going on here. But on the other hand, the Cowboys are 5-1. They are one of those top, we'll say, 5 teams in the NFC right now.
They're a playoff team. For sure.
They're absolutely a playoff team.
They're going to win their division handily.
Dak has been recovering from a major injury.
Yep.
You need him for the long haul.
You absolutely do.
So it makes sense why you would sit him in this game.
Yep. And this can take me right back to Baker. It scares me to have Baker playing this week. But if the doctor says healthy, then he's healthy.
So for
me,
the
doctor saying Dak's healthy, or is he not healthy?
For me, for fantasy, I want Dak to play. I think that Dak is going to play. But as a Vikings fan, obviously, if a lesser talented quarterback is going to go out there and play, that sounds great.
Yep.
Except the Vikings do not play good against backup quarterbacks.
Really?
Yes. They actually play pretty shit against them. We've seen them go up against backups and actually be torched, which is surprising.
This is a stat that I did not know about.
All right. It's just part of like the saga of the Vikings and following them is that like I feel better against them going up against a starting quarterback because I don't know if it's just mentally the team doesn't get prepared as well or think, oh, we're going against the backup, so we should have no problem going against them or something like that. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but for whatever reason, backups and even backups that come in mid-game tend to play better against us than you would expect. So that's a little bit scary. Now, Dallas does have a lot of different little injury things going on, all right? So their line is a little bit shaky right now. I think Lyle Collins might have the opportunity to get off of his suspension and come back and play this game. But right now they haven't listed him as the starter on their depth chart. I think the front office is actually pretty angry at Lyle Collins. He elected to not have surgery when he should have in the offseason. He had this whole pissing scandal thing, the urinalysis, where he didn't take drug tests, and realistically he would have gotten a 2-game suspension, but because he potentially bribed the person giving him a urinalysis.
Oh, I do remember this, yeah.
And he's been appealing it. Now the suspension has extended and everything, but I think there's a possibility of him coming back and playing this game, and realistically he's the better talent to be playing. So he could be playing, but Tyron Smith is questionable right now. If Tyron Smith doesn't play, that's a big win for the Vikings because Tyron Smith has looked very good this year. Tyron Smith used to be one of the best left tackles in the NFL.
Absolutely.
He has had a neck injury. All right. So if you see pictures of Tyron Smith as a rookie, no neck collar. And then after that, he has had this neck collar on for years. He's put off a neck surgery for 6 years.
Oh.
All right. Because he does the recovery timeline for him would take him into his off-season preparations and into the season some. Because he got hurt last year and was out for a big part of the year, he went out and got that surgery. And they say you don't get better from a bad back or a bad neck.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you have a bad back or a bad neck, even if you get surgery or anything on it. He has looked like he didn't have that injury for the beginning of this year.
Well, I mean,
he has played very well this year, but he's questionable in this game. All right, so he might not play.
Okay.
So
having your tackles out is a very big
would be
hit
great. It would be
because that I've seen the Browns try that and it didn't go great.
Yep. Zeke Elliott is Zeke Elliott. I think him and Pollard.
They make a very good backfield.
I think Elliott should be getting like 75% of the snaps compared to Pollard, but I think that their workload should be even. Like how touches,
should be even. Tony Pollard is not a guy I necessarily want protecting my quarterback on a third down.
That's the thing. Zeke Elliott is one of the best all-around backs that we've seen in a long time.
He's probably the best back in pass protection in the NFL.
He looks like an Ewok, but he is one of the smartest pass protecting backs, even back to Ohio State. One of the best pass protecting guys. He's the guy that you want on the field, like I said, that 75% of the time. You want him out there on passing downs and stuff like that. And he still has juice and stuff to be a good runner and a good receiver, but Pollard just has that kind of lightning potential, that breakaway speed, and that's why you see some of these bigger plays and people kind of will pound the table for Pollard to now be the starter there. And I get that. But like I said, I think their touches should be about the same, but snap share should definitely be going to Zeke. He doesn't really scare me so much. But look, this Cowboys team is the beginning of a brutal stretch for the Vikings. Zimmer plays good against the Cowboys. We went into Dallas last year and fucked them up, which was nice. Zimmer used to be part of their coaching staff.
Right.
There's actually talks about Zimmer going to Dallas before McCarthy took over. If the Vikings were to have gotten rid of him and ran with your head coach.
Yeah.
This game, Minnesota -3. That's the line based off of Prescott not playing. Yeah. I feel like Prescott's going to play, even though I think franchise-wise, it would probably be smart for them to just be like, hey, if we take an L here, we take an L here. But they think that they probably still could win, even if they're playing the backup. Vikings are relatively healthy, so that's good. We are going to have questions in our secondary. That's where the question mark is. All right. Rashad Breeland has not looked good this year. And to be quite honest, I was very happy to sign him. I thought he was underrated. I think that he is a good like second or third starter quarterback, but he has not played very good this year. And what really pisses me off is that he won't shut his fucking mouth on Twitter.
Yep. Twitter will get you in trouble.
And his antics in the games are pissing me. Like, he got booed, I believe it was against Cleveland, by the Minnesota fans. And he was egging on his home team fans during the game. And I was like, dude, you aren't playing good. He was PFF's like third lowest ranked cornerback for a while early on in the season. And he got asked about that in a presser and kind of went at the reporter reporting that. And you know what? He's gotten better. I think he's like fourth or fifth worst now.
Oh, hey,
it's better.
Any improvement, right?
And obviously last game against Carolina, first play of the game, he picks off Darnold and he did a good job on that interception, and he did a good job in the game overall. He has gotten a little bit better as the season goes on, but he doesn't inspire confidence in me. Then we have Cam Dantzler, who's going to be playing more now because Patrick Peterson's out for another 3 weeks,
right,
including
which is
this
why
week.
You're banging the table for Xavier Howard.
Absolutely. And Cam Dantzler has, rookie last year, he was the best cornerback on the team. This offseason, he hasn't looked great. When he's been in games, he's actually looked all right. And he also has been a little bit emotional when it comes to Twitter and shit like that. Zimmer needs to get these guys fucking under control a little bit. Dantzler getting playing time, I'm excited for that. I'm excited for him to get that time because he looks better in games than he does in practice. I'm hoping to see some good things out of him, but he is going against, and this defensive backfield is going against a very good wide receiver core.
Very good wide receiver group.
Yeah. So it's going to be a very tough test. The success or means to success for the Vikings in this game, assuming Dak plays, is getting pressure.
Agreed.
And we can do that. The Vikings have the most sacks in the league this year. All right.
Even with a bye, right?
Yeah. They have 21. I don't know that that Thursday night's game changed any of that. as far as Cardinals
Top
having
teams.
more or anything
I
like
don't
that.
think so.
Our defensive line, our pass rush has been very good this year, and I love seeing that again. If we're able to get that pressure, then that helps your defensive backfield. If Dak isn't playing and we're able to get that pressure, that bodes very well, obviously. And then I think that our offense can actually go after the secondary of this Dallas team. Trevon Diggs, fucking interception machine right now.
Yeah, don't throw it near him because he's
I
fucking
disagree.
taking it the other way.
I disagree.
Oh,
I think you go after him.
really? Attack him and put him in
So this is the
coverage a
thing,
lot.
is that people are high on Trevon Diggs, and I like Trevon Diggs, brother of Stephon Diggs.
Mhm.
Those guys can catch. That family can fucking catch.
Yeah,
The thing
yes,
is
they
that you look at some of the better cornerbacks out there, like a Richard Sherman of a couple years ago.
Nobody went at him. They would stay away from his side of the field.
Well, the thing with not necessarily Richard Sherman, he would bait teams.
He would.
They would still throw towards him, but he would bait them and be able to make pass. Like, people did not get yards against him because he was able to break up passes and get those interceptions. Trevon Diggs is trying to do the same thing. He tries to bait, but that leads to an interception and stuff like that in every single fucking game.
Yeah.
But he's also given up a lot of yards. He's actually not covering that well.
Okay.
So this is a second-year player. He's getting better. If he gets that down, that'll be good for him and good for Dallas. And I don't know if it's going to happen this game.
Well, you guys have fantastic fucking receivers.
Yeah. So I think that we have the opportunity to exploit that.
Okay.
I think you go after Trevon Diggs. Kirk Cousins has been fairly smart with the ball. The interceptions that he's had several interceptions that have been tips.
Yeah, he's had a lot of tip bats.
Going off of the receiver or whatever. So that's where a majority of I'm not even gonna say a majority, but that's where he's had several of his interceptions. But other than that, he's been pretty smart about throwing the ball. He's been pretty accurate. I think that they go into this game knowing what Trevon Diggs does, that he is throwing a lot of interceptions, and then as long as Kirk is not dumb about it and recognizes when he's trying to be baited, they can take advantage of that.
Okay.
And it sounds like it's probably going to be Jefferson going against Diggs.
Probably.
And I like Jefferson in that matchup.
I like Jefferson in that
He's a good contested catch guy. So
big body.
I believe there was a quote of him talking about going against Trevon Diggs and said that he is looking forward to fighting for the ball against him this week or something along those lines. Like, he knows that that's going to be one of the matchups. So
sounds like you're on the Vikings then.
I mean, I've got to be for my team. Look, it's a brutal stretch, and I'm scared going against the Cowboys. If Dak plays, I don't think the line of Minnesota -3 should be there. I do think that it should go back to that Dallas -2.5 or whatever it was. That's the big linchpin in this game, and apparently we aren't going to find out if Dak is playing until game time.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see some primetime football with my team, though. I'm going to pick the Vikings in this one. I'm not going to pick them to cover because I just know my team. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
All right. I like a lot of the things that you said, and the fact that Dak is a game time decision makes me less confident in the pick that I have. I have the Cowboys winning because Dak has been so good and so efficient. If Dak is not in there, then I would take the Vikings.
Oh, that's the other thing. Dalvin Cook, healthy.
Yep. I mean, so
he played last game. He's had that ankle injury, but he said, hey, I felt good after the game against the Panthers. I didn't feel like I was really hindered by it, and now he's had a week off with this bye. Sometimes we come out of the bye a little funky, but Zimmer plays hard against teams that he used to coach.
Mm-hmm.
He always plays good against the Cowboys, and I think he's going to have his guys prepped for this one.
So I was on the Cowboys, man. I still think the Cowboys can get this done if Dak is playing, because I had to fucking go look it up. The Cowboys backup is Cooper Rush, fucking Hall of Fame name. But I don't think I've ever seen this kid throw a pass in my life at any level. So if Dak is in, I'm going to say it's the Cowboys because they are very explosive on offense. Their defense is lacking some areas, and they're just, you guys have a way of moving the ball basically against anybody that you've played. with the exception of the Browns. That was pretty much a stalemate the entire game, 14-7. It was an ugly game. But you guys have done a very good job of moving the ball on offense. Your receivers are fantastic. I love Dalvin. If Dak is healthy, though, I got to say it's the Cowboys. And this sucks because I want to give a pick. You changed my mind. I'm going Vikings. Dak being that questionable, that late, game time decision, that scares me. Vegas typically knows what the fuck they're doing. I'm going to say the Vikings. I was on the Cowboys. I knew Dak was banged up, but I thought he would for sure play. With the news that we just got that he is a game time decision, that scares the shit out of me. I was Cowboys. I'm switching my pick. I am going Vikings here.
Now, also, if Dak were to come out that he's going to play and the line somehow flipped again, back to like a Dallas minus 2.5, I've got the Vikings covering that one.
I think they would cover as well. I think that if he is that banged up unless this is excellent gamesmanship from a guy that we don't typically see that from in Mike McCarthy, I think that the Vikings would cover. I mean, if Dak is truly a game time decision, that is a problem for this Dallas team. We saw what Dallas was last year without Dak. They're not good.
I said franchise decision for the rest of the year. I think it probably is smart to sit him.
I agree,
especially when you're going up against this sort of pass rush where they are getting this many sacks. He's going to get hit if he's out there.
He is. He's absolutely going to get hit.
Their line is not 100% right now.
No, we just talked about Leo Collins doing some dumb shit and not playing. So, you got me convinced. I'm going to switch it from Cowboys to Vikings. A big linchpin in that, though, is Dak's health status.
Yep. So definitely something for people to watch out for if you're betting on this game and you haven't actually put in that bet yet, to see what happens with Dak being a game time decision. That is really the story of this game before the game happens. Is Dak going to play or not? Now, 2 days ago, I got asked, is Dak going to play? And I was like, hell yeah, he's going to play. And my gut is still that he's going to play. But I think it would be a smart decision for the franchise. And I'm not saying this just because the Vikings are playing him, but if I'm just purely going based on the Cowboys, I think it would be smart. Let him sit, let him get rest.
Trust me, I completely understand that scenario. I don't like the fact that Baker's playing this weekend. I love Baker.
Oh, I think if you play Keenum, you still win.
I think we still win, and that's why I don't like the idea of playing Baker, because we're playing the fucking Steelers, who are very good up front. Yep. We could still win with Keenum in this week. Baker, give him an extra week, let the shoulder heal a little bit more. He's only had 17 days for a shoulder fracture to heal. That motherfucker ain't healed. If you've ever broken a bone in your life, you know it takes at least 3 to 4 weeks for that thing to start to actually get there. And this is a shoulder. This is a big deal. If he's going to get hit, you know where he's going to get hit? On the fucking shoulders. So I understand the idea of wanting to keep Dak out for the health of the organization going forward. They want this. The Cowboys want this game if Dak is out there for some reason, and I don't know why. They're gonna win their division, and it's not even fucking close. Washington has been terrible. The Giants have been terrible. The Eagles have been terrible, and the Eagles are gonna fucking lose to the Lions.
Jerry Jones wants that home field advantage. He wants them to have a better record.
He's not getting it. There only one team is getting a bye, and then the two teams with home field advantage. That looks like the Rams and the Bucks, and that's basically a runaway right now. And the Cowboys still have a lot of games left to play. They're probably not getting that home field advantage or a bye. I think it's the smart idea to sit Dak, but if they play him, the Cowboys have a chance in this one. If he's out, for sure, Vikings. For sure, the Vikings. If he's out.
That's the thing again, though. If he's not playing, I can't say for sure the Vikings, because like I said, we've had issues against backup quarterbacks.
Before I said his name, Cooper Rush, did you know who their backup was?
Yes.
Really?
Well, I've been paying attention to this game and Hard Knocks and stuff like that.
Cooper Rush, have you seen him do anything?
Nothing that I can recall. I'm pretty sure that he probably played some last year, because I believe he was with the team last year when Dak went down and they cycled through fucking.
They got rid of the fucking Paisan. What the hell was that kid's name?
Ben DiNucci.
The Nooch. So Yeah, I gotta go Vikings now. You got me convinced, and especially with Dak's injury status.
Yep. So yeah, that was Ed Werder reported that. I saw that
And
as
if Ed Werder says
as
it,
we were getting into
I'm
the
fucking
game.
taking that for pretty much gold. There are a couple of guys who will report things. I'm like, who cares? I don't trust you. There are some guys who are in the fucking sports world who, when they say shit, it's almost as good as gold. Werder is one of those guys who's been doing it so long. If he says it, he knows he's got the pulse around the NFL.
Mhm.
So that game time decision that this is a legit thing, I 100% believe it.
Yep.
So.